Welcome to Uncovering the Past, South African Stories. In this video, we will be discussing the complex relationship between Black economic empowerment, BEE, the tender system, and entrepreneurship in South Africa. As many of you may know, BEE is a policy that was introduced in South Africa to address the economic imbalances created by apartheid. It aims to promote economic transformation and increase the participation of previously disadvantaged groups in the economy. One of the ways in which BEE is implemented is through the tender system, which requires government institutions to consider BEE status when awarding contracts. This has created opportunities for entrepreneurs and small business owners to access government contracts and grow their businesses. However, the tender system has also been marred by corruption, with some companies using their political connections and BEE status to win tenders through illegal means. This has led to a backlash against BEE and raised questions about its effectiveness in promoting economic transformation. In this video, we will be exploring the challenges and opportunities of entrepreneurship in South Africa, particularly for those who are trying to navigate the complex landscape of BEE and the tender system. We will be speaking to experts in the field, as well as entrepreneurs who have experienced both the benefits and the pitfalls of these policies. So, whether you are an entrepreneur, a policymaker, or just someone who is interested in understanding the complexities of South Africa's economic landscape, we hope that this video will provide you with valuable insights and a deeper understanding of the issues at hand. Let's get started. BEE stands for Black Economic Empowerment, and it is a policy initiative introduced in South Africa in 2003 to address economic imbalances that arose during the apartheid era. The BEE system seeks to redress the imbalance of economic power that previously favored the white minority in South Africa. The goal is to ensure that Black people have access to equal opportunities in the country's economy. The BEE system works by assigning scores to companies based on their compliance with certain criteria related to the empowerment of Black people in South Africa. The criteria may include aspects such as ownership, management, and employment equity, as well as contributions to socio-economic development. Companies are scored on a points-based system, and the higher the score, the more empowered the company is deemed to be. The scorecards are used to classify companies into one of several BEE levels, ranging from level 1, the highest, to level 8, the lowest. The BEE system provides incentives for companies to improve their scores, such as preferential treatment in government procurement processes. This means that companies with higher BEE scores are more likely to win government contracts, which can be a significant source of revenue. Additionally, the BEE system is designed to encourage companies to support the development of Black-owned businesses and promote social responsibility. Companies can earn BEE points by investing in initiatives that promote socioeconomic development in disadvantaged communities, such as education and skills development programs, healthcare services, and environmental sustainability initiatives. The BEE system has been controversial, with critics arguing that it can be a form of reverse discrimination and that it promotes the enrichment of a small elite rather than true economic transformation. Proponents of the BEE system argue that it is necessary to address past injustices and promote a more equitable distribution of wealth and economic opportunities in South Africa. Overall, the BEE system remains a central part of South Africa's economic policies, and it continues to evolve to address the changing needs of the country's economy and society. In South Africa, a tender is a formal invitation from a government entity or private organization to suppliers or service providers to bid for the supply of goods or services. Tenders are used to ensure transparency and fairness in the procurement process and to ensure that the best value for money is achieved. The BEE policy in South Africa is often linked to tenders because government entities and some private organizations are required to consider the BEE status of potential suppliers when awarding tenders. The BEE scorecard, which is used to measure the empowerment status of companies, is one of the factors that can be taken into consideration when evaluating tenders. When a company bids for a tender, its BEE score is taken into account as part of the evaluation process. The BEE score can give the company an advantage over competitors with lower BEE scores, as it can increase the likelihood of the company winning the tender. Furthermore, the BEE policy requires that a certain percentage of the value of government tenders is awarded to Black-owned companies or companies with a high BEE score. This is known as the preferential procurement policy, and it is designed to promote economic transformation and the development of Black-owned businesses. Therefore, for companies bidding for tenders, having a high BEE score can be beneficial in terms of increasing their chances of winning tenders, especially those issued by government entities. However, It is important to note that the BEE score is just one of the factors that is considered in the tender evaluation process. Other factors such as price, quality, and delivery times are also taken into account, and the company with the highest overall score is typically awarded the tender. Once upon a time, in South Africa, there was a company called Bosesa. It was a facilities management company that provided catering, security, and cleaning services to government institutions such as prisons, schools, and hospitals. At first, Bosesa had a good reputation for providing quality services, and it had a high BEE score. This made it an attractive company for government institutions that were required to consider BEE status when awarding tenders. But behind the scenes, there was a darker side to Bosesa. The company's CEO, Gavin Watson, was a master of corruption and had built a vast network of political connections that allowed him to win tenders through illegal means. The story began to unravel in 2019 when the former CEO of Bosesa, Angelo Agrizzi, turned whistleblower and testified in front of the Zondo Commission about the company's corrupt practices. Agrizzi revealed that Bosesa had paid bribes to government officials in exchange for tenders. The company had set up a complex system of bribes that involved paying government officials cash, providing them with expensive gifts, and even paying for their children's school fees. The bribes were often disguised as consultancy fees or donations to the ANC. Bosesa even had a war chest of cash that it used to pay off government officials who were causing problems for the company. But the corruption didn't stop there. Bosesa also had a network of journalists and media outlets that it paid to produce positive coverage of the company and its activities. It even had a spin doctor who was responsible for managing the company's public image. As the story unfolded, it became clear that Bosesa was a criminal enterprise that had infiltrated the highest levels of government. The company had won tenders worth billions of rand through illegal means, and it had used its political connections to avoid prosecution. But the biggest twist in the story came when Gavin Watson died in a mysterious car accident just days before he was due to testify in front of the Zondo Commission. The circumstances of his death raised questions about whether it was really an accident or if he had been silenced to prevent him from revealing even more about the company's corrupt practices. Despite the many plot twists and cliffhangers, the story of the Bosesa scandal was a sobering reminder of the extent of corruption in South Africa. It highlighted the need for transparency and accountability in the tender and BEE system, and the importance of protecting whistleblowers who come forward to expose corruption. The Bosesa scandal may have been a dark chapter in South Africa's history, but it also served as a wake-up call for the country to confront corruption head-on and work towards a more just and equitable society.